What is first substantive contact? Hey folks, my name is Chris at Hauseit, based here in Miami, Florida. Today we're going to talk about this interesting topic that's asked by both real estate licensees, agents and brokers, as well as buyers and sometimes sellers. And it's a really interesting question because, for example, real estate agents are often required to give disclosures in certain states, such as New York, upon first substantive contact with a prospective buyer or tenant. For example, in New York, real estate agents are supposed to give a few forms, such as the agency disclosure form, the human rights anti-discrimination form, as well as the recently introduced reasonable modifications and accommodations form as well to prospective buyers and tenants upon first substantive contact. But this term is often misunderstood. It's not well defined in many places, and agents are often confused. I mean, what does that mean exactly? Is it when somebody walks in the door at an open house, a direct buyer, and then you have to present them the form, or do you have to be talking about something, more substantial or something? Well, let's break this down. So first substantive contact does not mean whenever somebody walks through the door that doesn't already have an agent. So first of all, if you are a listing agent, also known as a seller's agent, and somebody comes through that door with their buyer's agent, then you do not need, in most states like New York, to then present any sort of agency disclosure form or any other sort of form, because it is up to the buyer's agent to present that agency disclosure form. Now, with that said, as we'll discuss later, should you get further along in that process with that specific buyer, even if they have a buyer's agent, even though you don't need to present the agency disclosure form, you might, out of prudence, want to present, for example, the anti-discrimination form and other forms such as the lead paint form. But typically speaking, first substantive contact, as defined in these cases, means more than just encountering someone. It means you are talking about something more substantial, usually with pricing, perhaps what the owner's terms might be, how much the buyer might be willing to offer or have room in negotiations and such. Anytime you really start talking about price, it's really when this first substantive contact definition gets triggered. So just to take a step back, you're a real estate agent, you're speaking with, someone who walks in through that front door, they don't have an agent, they're a direct buyer. And then, you show them the property, you're leading them through the property, or you're the buyer, you're going around with the agent and seeing the property. That's not first substantive contact, right? It is first substantive contact, though, the moment that as you're, walking through this open house with this seller's agent who happens to be there, and then you start talking to the seller's agent about, hey, this is what I'm like pre-qualified for. This is the max amount I can afford. Do you think the seller has room? Would they be able to accept this for X price? Then all of a sudden, you've triggered first substantive contact. And then at this point, any sort of regulations or notices that must be sent to you should then be sent to you as the buyer at this time. So again, this would be the agency disclosure form. If you don't have a buyer's agent, then the seller's agent should send this to you. And then first substantive contact is also when you should be sent the recently released reasonable accommodations and modifications form if you're a prospective tenant, and then also just generally whether you're a buyer or a prospective tenant, you should at this point be sent the human rights and anti-discrimination form in New York. Now again, we've given you some ideas of what needs to be sent in a state like New York with a lot of regulatory reach. And of course, you can send these easy with a variety of tools out there. A popular one that we like is cribfox.com. So you can send a form in like under a few seconds, especially these commonly used forms, in under a few seconds. And then this way you get the form stored and such so you can comply with your local regulations. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. My name is Chris at Hauseit. Leave us a comment below if you have any questions. And of course, we hope you like these ad hoc videos. They are ad-lib. They're not scripted in any way. There's no way we could produce so many if so. So we hope you find this format entertaining, but we always do love feedback from our customers and viewers. Let us know how we can improve. And of course, if you're looking to buy or sell property in New York or Florida, we can help you save all 6% in commission when you sell with an agent-assisted FSBO listing. And when you buy, we can help you save 2% or more with a buyer closing credit, where our buyer's brokers give you 2/3 of the buyer agent commission, subject to us keeping a minimum of 1%, or $7,500 as of this filming. We cover all 5 boroughs of New York City, as well as Long Island and the Hudson Valley. And we're based today in Miami, Florida. We cover Miami-Dade County, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie counties. My name is Chris at Hauseit, and we'll see you on the next one.